Welcome to this explainer. If you're sitting in your dorm room or maybe at a quiet library desk right now, just take a second to look around. You're probably surrounded by a tangle of white laptop chargers, maybe a mini fridge humming softly in the corner, or your phone plugged into the wall next to your bed. You know, you are constantly surrounded by this quiet, completely invisible system that literally runs your world. Today, we're going to calmly decode the anatomy of that exact system. We'll explore the underlying principles that make all of these modern electronics actually work. So, what actually happens when you flip a switch? To really understand the complex energy powering our modern world, we need to build our knowledge calmly and methodically right from the ground up. We're going to start with the absolute smallest, most fundamental particles in the universe and slowly scale our understanding all the way up to the safety and stability of our physical, grounded reality. Okay, here is our roadmap for today. 1. The spark of electricity. 2. The push and power. 3. The circuit cast. 4. Rules of the road. And finally, 5. Putting it together. Let's jump right in. Section 1. The spark of electricity. To make sense of everything else, we really have to start at the absolute bottom, with the tiny, invisible particles that make everything in our electrical world possible. Particles like protons and electrons possess a fundamental characteristic property called charge. You can think of charge almost like the basic personality trait of a particle. Protons naturally carry a positive charge, while electrons carry a negative charge. And neutrons, well, as their name implies, they just stay neutral. This underlying trait of having a charge is the baseline requirement for any electrical phenomenon to exist at all, and we measure this accumulated charge in a unit called coulombs. Now, charge on its own, just sitting quietly in place, doesn't really do much for our electronics. But when those coulombs of charge begin flowing through a pathway over a period of time, we get electric currents. Mathematically, current, which we denote as I, is simply defined as the rate of flow of that charge, or dq over dt. Imagine it kind of like water moving quietly and steadily through the pipes of your dorm building. We measure this flow, or this invisible traffic, in amps. Basically, if 1 coulomb of charge transfers in exactly 1 second, you have 1 ampere of current flowing. Section 2. The push and power. So charges don't just randomly decide to move through a conducting wire, right? They require a very specific and visible push to get going. This push is potential difference, which we most commonly call voltage. And there's a deeply fascinating comparison to be made here. Voltage acts exactly like a gravitational field. Think of how gravity acts as this constant, comforting force, pulling a heavy object downward and doing work on it. Similarly, potential difference provides the steady energy, or the work, required to move a unit of charge from one point to another. It's the essential quiet pressure driving all the current in your devices. When you combine that gravitational-like push, the voltage, with the steady flow of traffic we just defined as current, you produce electrical power. This is the rate at which work is actually being done in your circuit in real time. The formula is quite elegant. Power equals voltage times current. When you multiply volts and amperes together, you get watts. This perfectly explains why the little charger block for your phone might pull a gentle 20 watts, while the communal microwave down the hall aggressively demands 1,000 watts to heat up your late-night meal. It's really just a direct measure of how much electrical work is happening. Section 3. The circuit cast. Now that we've got a grasp on the invisible energy, the push and the flow, let's introduce the physical characters that actually interact with it. Our electrical network elements form a cooperative ecosystem made up of 2 main types of components. First up, we have active elements. These are the steady suppliers, like voltage or current sources, that gently pump energy into the circuit. And then we have passive elements. These are the consumers. They don't supply energy. Instead, they quietly dissipate it as heat or temporarily store it away in electric or magnetic fields to be used later. Engineers all across the globe use a universal shorthand, this really quiet, universally understood visual language, to sketch out these ideas. The jagged line represents the resistor, which is the component that dissipates energy. The coiled loop is the inductor, and the 2 parallel lines signify the capacitor, both of which actually store energy. Every single complex device you rely on, from the tablet you take notes on to the headphones playing your study playlist, is literally packed with millions of these tiny cooperative passive elements. An incredibly important and honestly comforting trait for classifying many of these passive elements is linearity. A linear element is one where its voltage and current maintain a highly predictable straight-line relationship. If you double the voltage, the current doubles exactly. There's no guesswork at all. This reliable relationship is governed by Ohm's law. beautifully simplified as voltage equals current times resistance, or V equals IR. It's a mathematical rule you can basically always count on. Section 4. Rules of the road. Before we talk about the boundaries of Ohm's law, it's really worth introducing a profoundly stabilizing concept present in almost all real-world circuitry: earthing or grounding. You might notice little symbols consisting of 3 decreasing horizontal lines at the bottom of circuit diagrams. In your actual dorm room, this is that third prong on your wall outlet, which literally connects to a physical wire driven deep into the earth outside. The earth acts as our ultimate zero-voltage reference point. It safely and quietly absorbs excess charge, protecting you and giving all these mathematical rules a stable, grounded foundation to work from. Now, working from that safe ground, we know Ohm's law is a primary rule, but it does have limits. It requires a constant temperature to hold true, and it actually doesn't apply to more complex nonlinear devices like semiconductor diodes. Because Ohm's law isn't strictly universal, it builds into the ultimate unbreakable rules of balance: Kirchhoff's laws. The first one is Kirchhoff's current law, also known as the point rule, which observes the junction nodes where multiple wires meet. The second is Kirchhoff's voltage law, or the loop rule, which observes the completely closed circular pathways within a circuit.
At the very heart of these laws is this deeply reassuring concept of perfect conservation. In a world full of chaotic schedules and midterm stress, electrical circuits offer a really nice, quiet predictability. Kirchhoff's current law simply guarantees that whatever current enters an intersection must exactly equal the current leaving it. No electrons ever get lost or just disappear into thin air. Similarly, Kirchhoff's voltage law dictates that the total voltage supplied to a closed loop perfectly equals the sum of the voltage drops across it. The energy going in exactly matches the energy being used. Perfect balance, perfectly conserved every single time.
Section 5. Putting it together. Let's bridge the gap between these abstract rules and a practical scenario. When an engineer looks at a circuit loop, they are essentially just tracing a closed circular path. To kind of soften the math anxiety here, you can think of it just like taking a walk around a hilly college campus. You might go up a steep hill, that's a voltage increase, and walk down a few slopes. Those are voltage drops. But if you walk in a complete circle and end up right back at your dorm, your total change in elevation is exactly 0. That is literally all Kirchhoff's voltage law is doing, summing the journey to 0 so you can easily find a missing variable. Suddenly, by following this structured sequence, dense mathematical theory becomes a highly predictable and manageable puzzle. You identify your loop, you calculate your individual voltage drops with Ohm's law, you use Kirchhoff's voltage law to set your total algebraic sum to 0, and then you just solve for what's missing. It's not some daunting test to be feared. It's a soothing reality where the pieces are fundamentally designed to always fit together perfectly. And here is the grand overarching takeaway. Whether it's a tiny battery-powered reading light clipped to your book or the sprawling, massive power grid providing electricity to your entire university, everything relies on these exact same foundational rules. Complex networks are quite literally just these simple nodes and loops, balancing current and voltage drops, scaled up perfectly. And they all ultimately rely on the literal earth beneath our feet to remain safe, stable, and perfectly balanced. So the next time you plug your phone into a wall at the end of a long day, take a quiet second to appreciate the invisible balance happening right under your fingertips. Millions of charges finding their path, protected by the grounding of the earth, perfectly conserving energy at every single junction. It's a hidden system of peace and predictability running through our very busy lives. If modern technology relies on these simple rules balancing so perfectly, what hidden electrical system will you decode next? Thank you for taking the time to join me for this explainer. Stay curious and stay grounded.